That was not my fastest time, but it was accurate. The gun's getting warm. Time was 3:31. Welcome back to the channel, guys. What you just watched in the intro was whatever the result is of what I'm about to do right now. So the concept of carrying a gun at our hip, either 3 o'clock or whatever, appendix, small of the back, whatever, is normal-ish. And outside of normal is carrying in a shoulder holster. I don't have a shoulder holster on right now, but I'm going to try to figure that out today. Obviously, it's all a LARP until it isn't. That is a common saying at this moment in time here because of a certain assailant assault that happened in Twin Falls, Idaho recently. So we're going to try the Salinas Drill #1. I'm naming it that. I could be wrong. I could be messing this up, but this is all of that incident, which I have lots of thoughts about. That is inspiration for me to try this again. So first of all, let's just see what it's like to shoot whatever, normal-ish, okay? Again, I've got an outside the waistband holster concealed like this, okay? And with a, we'll call it a compact handgun, right? With a red dot and a light on it. And drawing from there in kind of the best conditions, really, right? Like this is what I'm going to practice doing. And this time I actually brought my shot timer. We're going to see what this looks like. I'm going to just start off with 3 shots on the smaller steel. If you pan over there, the steel on the left side, me shooting at that. What is that? A 10-inch target probably. So, and man, I haven't run this shot timer in such a long time, but here we go. Let's see. Okay. Well, that was a dry run. What do you call it? A cold start. So we're at 397 on that. 3 rounds on a 10-inch steel. Had to do a makeup on there, but that is, well, that's bad. Let's try this again. I just edited the last video yesterday, and before that I wasn't at the range for almost 2 weeks, but that is still not a lot of time. And so I should not be this rusty, shouldn't be this cold or whatever. I should be able to get that on target better than that. This is kind of an aside, but it's good. It's running through my mind right now, right? All right, let's do a couple more.
Some adrenaline.
Yeah, it's the stage fright. All right, well, that was one more miss. 395. I guess, what are we at for distance here? Is this 15 yards, 12, 15 yards, I suppose. Let's do one more here. Okay. So I am still using that small target. There we go. 319, probably my best one. And that was with a makeup in there. So 4 rounds, 3 hits on that 10-inch steel from the best possible concealed carry position with one of the best, or one of my best guns for concealed carry. So, I will say that's a little bit disappointing. I thought I would be better at this, but I guess that's why I'm out here training. So, all right, we'll pause the video here and then we're going to put on the shoulder holster, show you what we got with that, and do a little shooting with that. So, here we go. All right, again, this gun is great for this. That's why I have it. I will point out in the last video, I showed this gun, and then I talked quite a bit about and then trained a lot with my Shield Plus, a much smaller gun, tougher to shoot, no light, no red dot from a bad concealed carry position, the small of the back. But I'll just kind of reiterate that that is not, I don't always carry that gun. I mostly carry this gun, and I'm trying to carry it in the best configuration possible. The whole point of that video is that I can't always do that. I have to compromise sometimes. The biggest part of it is that, yeah, I want a good gun for the gunfight, but like, I'm usually not in a gunfight. And so I have to be prepared despite those disadvantages. So take a look at this over here. Here I have a fairly old, at least in my way of thinking, an old shoulder holster. So before I put it on, take a look at this. It is alien year. It's a few years old, 5-ish years old or so. It was part of their shape shift system. So this holster does basically, this configuration can go into other configurations, right? It can, whatever, it could be, that's what my the back Shield Plus holster was. But I could swap out the Shield Plus shell or something and put it in this. Yeah, glasses are fogging up here. So nice thing about this is that it does have 2 mag holsters on the opposite side as well. Helps kind of balance it. Big nice thing about these, it has some stretch in there, which is really helpful. It's fairly well supported shoulder straps. This is not I'm not saying this is the best shoulder holster. This is just one that I bought at the time. Has leather, fake leather, or I guess real leather that just gives the appearance of that. I should say, it is real leather and it makes it look kind of nice. But underneath we have neoprene, so that helps wick away sweat pretty well, fairly well. Same thing with this surface and this surface right here. These are fairly sweat wicking.
Can I see the mag holders?
So those, once they're on my body, will be kind of vertical-ish like that. I guess we'll see when I get it on there. Oops. But they have, this is so you don't mistake them for human gear. Or human wear versus alien wear. Alien gear? Alien wear is computers, isn't it? That's like gaming computers. Alien gear. I don't know what it is. This is not a gaming computer. Alien gear. Here we go. Alien gear. By the way, thank you for not clicking off at this point because I'm distracting myself. Anyway, so this shoulder holster I used for a bit. I tried it out. I think it's cool. And then I thought, you know what? It's not cool enough. It's not useful enough. And I could be wrong. So the nice thing about these is that these click in back here, or maybe up. Let's try right here. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I've already adjusted it for me, obviously. There's a lot of room for adjustment in this. And now, let's look at the gun. So, at the time that I bought this rig, that is a large wasp. At the time that I bought this rig, this was one of my favorite guns. The 3.6-inch M&P 2.0. I just flagged you with an empty gun, okay? 2.0 with a manual safety. It has the shorter grip. It is the subcompact. Fits in there nicely. The passive retention, the pressure that's in there is pretty good. It takes some resistance to pull that out. Now this mechanism is supposed to lock that in there. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. This mechanism is supposed to lock it in there, but it does not. For whatever reason, that part just hasn't, I don't know, maybe I gotta adjust it more. Maybe it's one of the reasons I stopped using it. So anyway, there's that. Let's get some mags loaded up here. I only have 5 of these 12 round subcompact mags for the M&Ps. There's not much of a reason to have more than 5 of these because they're not going to fit in the other guns, obviously. So now look at this. I got a round of the chamber, and I'm going to flag myself. How am I going to do this? How am I going to put that in there? Well, safety's on, and I guess you just run that risk. Now, I've reholstered thousands and thousands of times, not just with this, but with other ones, to the point in which I've accepted that level of risk. 2 things can be true at once. I'm accepting that level of risk, and I'm still being deliberately careful each time, okay? I've been driving a car for 30 years, probably even longer, actually. I haven't gotten in an accident yet. I'm still trying to be vigilant. I'm weighing the statistical chances that I'm not going to get in an accident, and I'm still doing everything within my power. I should say, not everything. I'm doing a lot in my power to keep myself and others safe, and blending that. Same thing with guns. It applies to a lot of things with firearms. So anyway, before I do this under concealment, let's just go up and shoot a little bit. Actually, you know what? At this point, do you have any questions? What do you think? Because you've barely seen me wear this, have you?
I've barely, well, a couple times. Let's not talk about that. Moving on. I don't have any questions. I just wanted to get a better look of, I didn't realize that it had the 2 mag holders there.
So how does that look as far as, they can be adjusted for angle. Right now I just have them canted that way. It kind of keeps them in there better, theoretically, gravity.
It'll be interesting to see you do a reload with those.
Yeah. So, and then these I have shifted towards the back. Like I've had them here before too, but I'm trying to have them here. Right now they're actually bothering my love handles a little bit. This is not ideal yet, but
No,
maybe.
it's for real people.
Yeah, but maybe this is a good option for some people in some configurations. So let's jump to me trying to shoot this thing up there.
Nice butt.
All right, so, man, I gotta do a couple things here. I need to get used to this gun again. So I guess we'll just run mag through here, even just from low presentations. Okay, think of it this way. If you are not comfortable drawing from concealment yet, okay, first of all, practice that at home. But before you're ready to draw from concealment, you can still work on your sight alignments under low readies, or I don't know what this is called. Depressed, holding the gun like this. I don't know what that is. So having it ready, you can even be off to the side, turn, bring it up, and shoot. Just so that you're doing something different. So that now the difference is your draw needs to get a good grip on the gun right away. And so if you're shooting from a depressed ready, whatever this is, your grip's already good. I mean, that's the point of it. You know, that's why you have a depressed, is it called depressed ready? Whatever this is, okay? That your grip is still on the gun, but you're not pointing it at someone. So do a couple of these first.
That was my first 9.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, this was the first 9mm that she had, 3.6, very lovingly referred to as the original 3.6, and it was my gun before that. And then I thought it was a good gun for her because, for one, it had manual safety. And actually, how did you use the safety? Did you use it all the time to begin with, or did you move past that?
I used it all the time at first, and as you get more comfortable.
Do you think that, what if you had been forced into a gun without a manual safety right away?
Well, I had you as a teacher.
Well, there we go. Okay. So. Oof. Okay. All right. So here we go. Reload. Okay. Huh. I don't know. I'm just kind of not feeling great, but I'm working through it. So let's just start with the shot timer here and just see what I get. I don't even know. Actually, okay. The next step that is wise to do is to not put yourself in a rush and practice drawing this thing safely. Okay, let's see. What would be... So if I'm drawing this, I want to keep my other arm out of the way. This is another criticism of shoulder holsters, is that you're pointing the gun at somebody else. Well, if you're holding the gun here, you're also pointing the gun at somebody. Anywhere you're carrying a gun in a holster, you are pointing it at somebody. This is just something that scares people more. I think they haven't reached a level of comfort with them. So to be safe-ish, right, I might go this way, cross my arm, draw, and then bring it up, okay? That way I'm not flagging myself. Okay, I'm trying to follow that rule. You understand I don't always follow that rule for myself on a range my safety is my own responsibility, okay? But then when I reholster, I can't really do it this way. I have to hold the holster. Sorry, I didn't do that, yeah. I can't just go like this. I have to hold it. Like I pointed out before, I still have to reholster that way, and I'm flagging myself as I reholster. So maybe that's a good reason to have a manual safety on a shoulder holster gun. Maybe. All right, so now I'm fairly used to the M&Ps. I think I'm fairly good at getting a good grip on this. Okay. See, that felt actually weird now.
You think it's because it moves so much when you're trying to take it out of the holster?
Maybe.
Like the holster moves a little bit?
So. Okay, let's do it with some time. We'll try to do 3 rounds here. Huh. Well, that's a real malfunction. Oh, you look at that. That's why. I popped the mag out. That is exactly why we're doing this. So I cannot think of the last time that I did that on an M&P.
Did that happen when you were taking it out of the holster?
Or putting it back in.
Or putting it back in.
So look at this. So that there is still tension there. It's not falling out. So it could have been like that before. Also, well, see there, it actually shot it out. Huh. That's kind of weird. So, as I'm putting it back in, okay, and actually look at this. This extra retention button, I don't know.
Is it on the mag release?
Well, I don't think it's touching it. I think it's actually protecting it. Okay. But that is strange. A little bit concerning. So.
Is that the only gun you have that fits in that holster?
Yeah. Well, the other 3.6 M&Ps that I have will fit, but they will not support a weapon light because this holster, here, I'll do this again. Not a weapon light either. Won't support a weapon light, but definitely will not support an optic. So I could take an optic off of one of my 3.6s.
We should try that.
And see.
Just to see.
Yeah. So. Let's see if I have 3 more rounds. I do. Try this again. Oh. 2 misses at the end there, but that's not a good representation. But 481, 4 shots, 1 pause in between there. Let's try this again. So, okay. Well, here, this is actually kind of a good, okay, slide lock, rear, mag reload, mag change. Okay. Ah! What do I got?
4.444.
Okay.
4.44.
Oh, let's try it again. I'm not gonna worry about misses. I'm gonna send 3 rounds towards there. Hopefully I hit them. I wanna see if I, yeah, go ahead.
.312.
312. So at least I'm shooting faster. Don't quote me on that. I need to be hitting the target.
Pressing the shot timer, you're a little less anticipating it, because when you're pressing it, you know that the dot or the beep is coming soon, right?
Oh, well, yeah, but it also randomizes the time between. So, okay, let's do a couple more till I'm out of this mag. Okay. I felt a little bit uncomfortable on those shots, but
315.
315. Okay. Again, this is not about speed. I'm just kind of comparing it, the different data points. The main reason to have a shoulder holster is to carry a gun. If you are not comfortable carrying a gun, if it's in a position where you'd rather not have it with you, then you're doing it wrong. You need to find a way to bring it with you. Yes, you should just embrace the suck or whatever and just live with the discomfort of carrying a gun, but why not make it more accessible, more reasonable? So anyway, I need to breathe for so. Oh, oh, I'm out. All right.
190.
Oh, nice. Sweet. That one shot got him. Okay. Huh. All right. Well, I'm going to practice a little bit more. Now, so these are frangible ammo I made a long time ago. I still had them loading up in these mags. And I'm probably going to pause the video and let wifey shoot those because she hasn't shot this in a little while. So, and then I'll put some more regular ammo in here. We'll keep going with this. I'll wear it with that, with the shirt. Actually see what I can get. And I might actually switch to a larger target, which is more reasonable as far as the self-defense shooting. So, all right, let's try that for now. So real quick, this is another good use case scenario. If I've got a hoodie, now it is way too warm for a hoodie today. I just wanted to point out how this could, a zip-up hoodie, how this could really be comfortable and reasonable for a lot of people, okay? Now, maybe you can see the bulges.
Put your hands down and I'll see.
But like this?
You could see them, but it's not terrible.
Really?
But I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is kind of.
I don't know what bug that is, but I don't want them landing on me. Anyway.
I think if you didn't have it zipped, like if you just had it like loose like that, then you can't really see.
Yeah.
But if you have it zipped, then it's more bulgy.
Yeah. The point is to have the gun on you because you're usually not in a gunfight. So even if this is zipped and I need to unzip it, or if it's a slightly bigger coat, actually you get a full winter jacket. Just have this underneath, right? So anyway, all right. The shirt in question. Now, I will point out that this shirt is a little bit bigger than most of the normal shirts I would wear of this configuration. Even if it's buttoned, I guess I'll do it.
I don't know.
I can barely button it.
On the sides.
Yeah, I can barely button it the way it is. And if it's buttoned, then you can't get to the gun very easily anyway. Also, if you are in a, okay, yeah, there we go. You can have a tearaway shirt. But also, if you are in a gunfight, which is longer, as in the one in Twin Falls recently, you have time to unbutton a couple of buttons to get your gun out of there. I mean, you might. So anyway, all right, I'm going to practice this a couple more times before I see how good I am on this. Oh. Am I getting brass at you? Okay. And then now I need to be more deliberate to reholster because I got to move the cover garment out of the way. Yeah, see, that's still kind of printy, right?
Yeah, big time.
That's pretty bad.
But that's only like if you're just walking around somewhere.
It's like if I'm walking a dog in a park and I'm not in the next person close to me is that far away or whatever, like they're not gonna look. And at some point, it's a whole nother video, we need to do more open carry. We need to make that more common, more acceptable, whatever. So, all right, I still got like 55 some rounds of this to shoot through. Let's get through some of it. I gotta do some repetitions. Maybe we'll just speed this part up. I don't know, but yeah, let's try it with the shot timer here. Again, this is just training. Maybe I'll leave it in, maybe not. Ah. Man, that's 353. I think I'm rushing. Now, in a situation where you need to have a gun, you probably will be rushed. But maybe that's part of the stress inoculation. Even running that shot timer, when that beep goes off, makes you a little bit nervous. And so working through that helps you in a real life situation, theoretically. Oh, well, that's another good. Okay. Now it's probably kind of obvious, but you could have larger mags in here too. And I have done that. I've had 15 and 17 round mags in the shoulder holster, and they obviously stick out further. But for the sake of this, kind of also to make my training a little bit more consistent, how I grip the gun and everything, I'm just using the same 5 12 round mags I have for this subcompact. All right. I know I need to get better at this, but I'm also just going to go for the larger target, see if that makes a major difference. Ah. Okay, so that did help me feel better about it, I guess. Was that all? Okay, so I got a little less than 2 mags left here. 388 on this. Not best yet, but I'm working on it. Okay, 2 out of 3. Now you could make the argument that you do not need to hit the assailant all 3 rounds. You need to send rounds that way. Obviously, if you're shooting a bullet, a gun, shooting at someone, you better be okay with them dying. Warning shots are not okay. Like, there's just not, I just don't have any place that is, well, I should never say never, right? But if you're responding to an active threat, don't shoot thinking that it won't hit them. And don't shoot thinking that you won't hit a bystander. You need to be very, very careful with that. I was thinking a lot about this lately, and I realized that probably the biggest disadvantage, or at least the least recognized disadvantage that a CCW carrier, a responsible citizen, the biggest disadvantage they have against a bad guy with a gun is that the bad guy with a gun does not care if he misses. A good guy with a gun needs to make sure that if they're missing, if I miss that target, that I don't hit my camera, for example, right? I don't want to hit the camera, but I'm being responsible. I'm accepting the risk, and I know how goodish I am, at least on a static range like this. So yeah, I need to be very direct and deliberate with the rounds that I send downrange, and know that if I miss, it could be, there are consequences for missing. Whereas they're not really consequences for missing this, except I might mess up the intro and not have a cool intro before I run out of ammo. So, let's see what I get here. Let's keep going. I want to hit them. Why am I missing? Okay, 4 rounds, 377. I don't even know what to beat, what's good or what isn't. The point is I have a gun on me and I can use it. That would have been good, except I was talking while I was shooting. Let's see what I got left here. I got 4 rounds left. 3 rounds left.
Make every bullet count.
Well, that was 345, including the commentary. Did that add or take time off? What do you think? All right, here we go. That was not my fastest time, but it was accurate. The gun's getting warm. Time was 3:31. So that was not horrible. Okay, I'll take that. Well, thanks for sticking with this long. I am tired and sweating, and I'm gonna do like 1 or 2 more videos after this. I don't know, we'll see about that. But I'm figuring out if this is a good solution for me. Maybe it's a good solution for you. Maybe you've tried it. Maybe you do it all the time. Maybe you're like, not a chance am I ever doing that. So let me know, I guess. All right, that's it for now. Ooh, here you go. Look at that. Hand down to that thing. Joystick down to it, you know? There you go.
This is just B-roll. My attractive husband.